Verifiable expenses, what are they and how do we figure out what they are? Hey, I'm Tim Diesel. I'm a commercial real estate consultant. This channel is designed to give you tips and strategies in your investing business. If you're a broker, this will definitely help your clients. All right, verifiable expenses versus non-verifiable expenses. Let's break that down a little bit. I get questions from investors constantly. How do we verify the expenses? How do I know if this is real? I've gotten income and expense statements from owners. How do I know what I'm looking at? Now, whenever you're investing in commercial property, everybody will tell you it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers, I believe that. I don't believe it's in all these complicated formulas everybody tries to throw at you. Don't get too confused with all that. Try to keep it simple. I'm a big advocate of keeping it simple. No matter how technical and complex you want to make it, the bottom line is it doesn't have to be like that. Let's talk about expenses, all right? I'll create another video for you in terms of income, but expenses are very, very powerful. So let's assume for a minute that you're making an offer, you're in contract, you're in the due diligence period, you're starting to get back some of those receipts, some of the leases, all that fun stuff, right? So there's going to be a lot of expenses that are going to be real easy to figure out. So let's maybe utility bills, right? I always want to ask for utility bills. Have they been paid? Those are going to be fairly simple. Property management, most of the time it's a flat percentage based on the income that's coming in. So we can calculate that very quickly. Maybe pool maintenance, gardener service. Sometimes it could be somebody they're paying cash. Might be a little difficult. Maybe they don't get receipts all the time. Could be their one of the owner's friends or cousins and they're just kind of doing it. Those kind of cases, that might be a little tough. Parking might be a little tough. So there's going to be a few things that you just can't get. Laundry, I've found, is another one. If they use the old machines with the coins, it's a cash business, so you're going to have to kind of use your best judgment there. But a lot of the new ones now, they have more better technology. You can track it more. And then a lot of the newer buildings, they have laundry units, laundry in their units, so that might be a little easier. For the most part, expenses can be identified, the big ones anyway, right? The taxes, the insurance, all that stuff, we can usually identify what it is. It's only going to be a few things you really can't account for. What you want to do is use kind of like an expense ratio that I usually talk about. Just kind of ballpark it. You know, if you're looking at an apartment building and the guy's got 50 expenses there, you know what the averages are. It's going to be what, 45, 55%, somewhere right in between there. Now, if you're looking at a retail building and it's triple net and the guy's giving you 40% expenses, well, you know there's something wrong here. So it really just depends, number one, on the property, and number two, what expenses can we identify? Let's verify all the expenses. The reason I really focus on expenses is shaving off expenses by 5% can be huge. So let's say you have a property, and no matter how big it is, you save $10,000 in expenses. Now, depending on where it is, how it is, I don't know what the cap rates are in your market, wherever it is, let's just use 10. Let's use a nice simple 10 cap. That's 100 grand. That's a lot. Now, most of our markets are not a 10 cap, but saving those expenses can be really, really beneficial. So a lot of times you'll see investors that want to get in there and they want to raise rents, they want to do all this crazy stuff. Start with expenses. It's much, much easier to reduce expenses. And the expenses we can verify, there's so many ways that most of the time we can verify those expenses. So it's not going to be something where you're going to be blindsided, right? So if it's a larger property, if there's a payroll coming on, you can see all that, W-2s, that's easy. If you have a property management, maybe you're paying them whatever the percentage is. Let's say you pay them 5%. Well, usually they'll give you the checks minus that reduction, and they have statements you can backtrack and go on. Electric, all the big stuff you can usually find, utilities, trash, whatever that is. maintenance and repairs, you want to ask for receipts. Now the big ones are very, very easy. If somebody repairs the roof, well, you can see the permit, you can get, that's going to be a little easier to do. Now, if somebody has a little repair with a water heater, maybe AC unit, whatever the case is, you need to get those receipts, you need to get those expenses identified as best as you can. Sometimes they won't have them, I understand, but do the best you can. And there definitely is a way to verify a lot of the expenses. And if you do need any kind of tips or anything with that, definitely leave me comments and I'll be glad to help you out with it. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, comments, questions, leave them. I love answering them. Hope you guys enjoyed this one.